How you doing, guys? Ty here once again, talking about a personal favorite film of mine from the year early 2001. 2001, yeah, that's definitely quite a year for movies. There were a lot that came out during that time. I can't think about them off the top of my head, but because I could make a whole list of those. But one of my personal favorites, actually, it is a heartfelt sport drama starring Keanu Reeves, as well as what's that girl's name? It's gonna bug me now. It's gonna bug me. She played with Richard Gere in Diane Keaton, right? Sorry, Diane Lane. Right, it was Diane Lane who was the school teacher in the movie Hardball, which is a personal Keanu Reeves favorite of mine. There's a lot to be said about the film Hardball. It's a very dramatic, heartfelt, inspirational movie. It's very touching at times. There's a lot that happens and a lot that showcases what happens in rough places where where kids are having rough times. In the hood, I guess, to be exact. It definitely does a good job at describing that and being able to show what every character is going through while being in this certain situation. Whether it being having no food or just being in a rough place, all in all, where a lot of violence is committed, or you're not in the best predicament, all in all, depending on any situation or whatever. But Hardball is definitely a movie that shows a lot about that and talks about different characters who are going through different things. So, it is a 2001 film, a very good film. Keanu Reeves, one of his best, as far as drama goes, because, we've seen him in quite a bit of action lately, whether it being John Wick or Matrix, the original Matrix, my favorite. Point Break, Speed. Of course, he did some comedies, Bill and Ted, but those aren't really my thing with him. I think that he does good when he's in a dramatic situation. I do think he does. Maybe action is his best, but he does okay when it comes to being in a dramatic role. So yes, Hardball. Very good movie. One of my personal favorites. Honestly, I'm not a big fan of sports. I'm really not. So, if you're into sports, this is not one of those movies. This is very much focusing on the characters and not so much the sport that they're doing. The film is called Hardball, but it isn't really about the sport. It's about the way they get through things together and the way they are a team family, one might say, together, and they deal with rough obstacles along the way that they have to get through, and they're doing it, but they're doing it together. Lots of favorite moments in the movie. A lot of favorite moments, and Diane Lane is good as the school teacher, who's also kind of a English teacher, librarian type. I don't know about librarian, but yeah, no, a sport drama, yeah. 6.4 out of 10 on IMDb, and a 41% on Rotten Tomatoes. I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, Hardball's up there for me, with other sports dramas like We Are Marshall or The Gridiron Gang, which is also a good one. But this for me is it's one of those ones that I was never able to get out of my head, like ever. It stuck to me. It was like glued there, I was not able to get it out of my head. I just wasn't. I had a hard time letting it go. It is deep, very deep, and emotional at times, and I mean, 6.4 on IMDb. I think it deserves to be a little bit higher. That's my personal opinion, is it deserves to be higher. And 41% on Rotten Tomatoes. I've seen worse films get higher than that. I don't know. Is it really that hated? I mean, I'm asking, is it that hated? Hardball, I love. Keanu Reeves does the role very well as a guy who does not know what the hell he's doing with these kids. Because, they're a group of kids who have tough lives, and it's in the middle of, what's that area? Chicago, that's what I thought. It was Chicago, like the east side or whatever, and there's lots of gang activity there, and these kids, they want to stay out of it. And they're threatened too. They're like, one scene which sticks out a lot is where Keanu Reeves, which I did not get the character's name, Connor. Yeah, Connor. He's teaching the boys, or just talking to them on the bleachers, and zooming on through on the road, like near where they play baseball, is a car, and the car is filled with thugs. And they're from the neighborhood, and they know, and they're watching the boys. They're scoping them down. They're giving them threatening looks, and they feel scared. You could see it in their faces that they feel terrified, and they're scared to walk home, and they're scared to do anything. And Keanu Reeves definitely feels a sense of purpose while growing close to these boys, because he doesn't really have much going for himself lately, other than a gambling addiction, which gets him in a lot of trouble, some drinking. But he gains a sense of, what I want to say, not just purpose, but a sense of responsibility for these boys, and a sense of protection for these boys. Like he feels, it's definitely a movie where there is a lot of warmth to it. It's a very warming, touching movie, and well, as you can see, I don't normally do those. I normally talk about horror. Well, I'm talking about this, so there's that. It is a good movie, and I would definitely watch it. It's up there with We Are Marshall. It is. Except this is more of a, I guess it's less of a sports drama. If you're a hater, you'll probably call it, an after school special or whatever. I don't know. But I don't find it preachy like that. I don't find it preachy like telling you need to do something. It's more like, okay, Keanu Reeves, Connor feels a sense of responsibility for these boys after having a gambling addiction, because he's assigned to this job to make this certain amount of money so he could pay back these people that he gambled, and he did not pay them back. He ran out. He goes to this guy. I don't know who he is to him, but he says, "Listen, I gotta do this. I need a job. I need this money right now, or these guys are gonna break my thumbs. They're gonna kill me. They're gonna fucking kill me." And who does he end up with? He ends up coaching the boys on a baseball league in Chicago. Which is it? What is it? Is it the east side, west side? What is it? Okay, it just says one of the toughest parts of Chicago. Okay, so then we'll go east side. Okay, yeah, so it's east side, and he doesn't know how to go about it with these boys. You can tell he cares. He does care. One of the boys kind of signals him after the game. He's like, can we run the game again? Can we run the game again? I don't want to go home alone. Come on, please. And the boy's walking home alone. He gets chased down by some thugs. Gets knocked off his bike and gets the shit beaten out of him. I'm just sitting there going like, dude, okay, this kid gave you a warning, first of all. Come on, Connor. Come on, dude. He gave you a warning that he was scared. You should have listened. I could call that from a mile away. But yeah, it's very sad what happens to him. The kid's name, I could see him. It's one of those situations where I could see him in my mind, but I don't remember his name. Actually, I don't have to look. I'm not looking. I remember the name. Jefferson Albert. Was it Jefferson Albertson? Jefferson Albert. Okay, I have to look. Alright, I'm just gonna look. Fuck it. Oh. I was right. What's his name again? Okay, it took me to the actor, by the way. Which, wow, he's really he looks good now. Well, nothing wrong with him before, but yeah, no, it was. I am sorry. I think I was right. Jefferson Albert. Yeah. We'll go with Jefferson Albert. Because there's more on the name. It's not showing me. It's just ... So, and when I click on it, it's just taking me to his. I think it's just Jefferson Albert. Yes, it's Jefferson Albert. A lot of other recognizable actors in there, like Tiki Tobin, who play the character who played by John Hawkes, who's in also a lot of other movies. You know, he was in an X-Files episode where he carved out people's hearts, and Dana was like falling in love with him, kind of becoming infatuated with him, in a way. He's in a lot of other movies. I can't really think of him off the top of my head right now, but... Oh, and here's the heartbreak of it all. The heartbreak of it all. Yep, that's right. The heartbreak of it all. G-Baby. Meaning a character named G-Baby, yeah. Who has a brother, an older brother, who's wrapped up in other... Wait, no, he's not the brother who's into heavy shit. There's another kid that wanders off in the beginning of the film that we don't see for a while, and it turns out that he's involved with gang activity. Then he runs off and he doesn't really come back for a while. He comes back, but briefly, and then we don't see him again. And G-Baby and his brother are walking down beneath the bridge, beneath the subway, in the dark tunnel, and I think that's the scene where there's a sudden gang fight, a rivalry, where they have to go and hide. So him and his brother, they go and hide. They're hiding by a car. There's a shootout, a drive-by shootout, and one of the bullets... I hate this scene. I cry every time. It struck baby G-Baby. His brother, after they pull away, his brother's like, G, it's okay, they're gone, and he's like having like an asthma attack, and he's just like gasping, with panic, and he tugs at his shirt, and he's not answering, and he looks over, and yeah, he's dead. So that's a very tough scene to get through, very tough. One of the saddest moments at Hardball. No, you could say this is one of those movies that has the typical tropes, like, okay, a guy who lost his way, that being Keanu Reeves, and he's got to fix his ways, and the only way he can do that is by teaching these young boys a lesson, and teaching them and guiding them, and being their sort of role model type, which he's not a role model, but he becomes one for them. You could say it's typical, yeah, but it also works well. It works very well with Keanu Reeves playing this part, doing this for these boys, and they look up to him and they feel a sense of... They feel a sense of protection from him and warmth. And it's just interesting to see two completely different types of people together. What I mean by that is, first of all, not to point out the elephant in the room, but Keanu Reeves is a sports-loving, gambling, not a role model. First of all, not a role model type. A white guy who does not know shit about kids from the projects. So it's kind of funny to see him with these sorts of people, these sorts of kids, and dealing with their mamas, like coming in all bad and shit. Like, no, you're gonna teach these boys right, or I'm gonna fuck you up. That's right. That's how the mothers come in. The mothers are very threatening and they're very scary. They're very scary with him. Like, they're like, no, I'm not gonna let Jefferson Elbison. I'm not gonna let him fail this class. Oh no, girlfriend. It's kind of like that. Maybe I did it wrong, but yeah, no, it's more like he cannot fuck it up. Like, he cannot show a bad example, because if he does, then they you know, kids are very, they collect what they see. If they see you do something, they're probably going to do it. They have like a file in their mind, and they just gather things in there. They just keep a file of everything, and mentally, like, just they're fucking, the kids, I'm trying to put it in the right words here. Kids gather what they see, and they'll act it out later in life, and you can't fuck it up in front of them. And there I am using the F-bomb. Don't do that, kids. Stay in school. I'm fucking old. But yeah, G-Baby is definitely one of the more interesting and endearing characters, who's a younger boy, and he's kind of cute. And at one point, Connor gets jerseys, baseball jerseys, for all the boys, and he's kind of small, so there's no size for him there, and it's kind of sad. And at one point, he wants to, I don't remember what it was. It was like, it's been a while since I watched the movie, but I'm reviewing it now. But I'll probably watch that again soon. So, yeah, G-Baby wants to play ball so bad. He wants to play ball so fucking bad. I feel so bad for this kid. You know, and later on, that makes you feel even worse, you know, when he gets taken out with the drive-by. It's like, no, this kid deserved more of a chance. He deserved to play more. He deserved to be on the field more. There's one kid who I found this funny, who when he could only play really good when he's got headphones on. And the song that plays when he's got headphones on it's I love it when you call me Big Papa. Throw your hands in the air if you a true player. And yeah, that's definitely become a popular hit, and popular with this movie too, I believe. And yeah, every bit as good as Hypnotize, definitely. Trying to think of other things. Yeah, and he hits the fucking home run, by the way. I think he wins that. And the music helps him, you know, he's jamming with it. So he lets him have the headphones, and the coaches come up, the other guys come up from, I think, the other team, and they're like, at one point, they're like, sorry, we can't have him wear the headphones. And it's bullshit. It's like, okay, he's wearing headphones, but he's not cheating. Like, okay, suck a dick. I don't know. That's just me. Because he has headphones on, they're afraid of him winning, or it's cheating. I don't know where their logic is, but yeah, they came up all mad about that shit. But and G-Baby's like, yo, that is some punk ass bullshit. Keanu Reeves' character Connor hears it, and the coaches get mad at G-Baby for saying that, and Keanu Reeves looks at the coaches and he's like, after arguing with them a little bit, he had a little battle with them, and he looks back at G-Baby and he's like, I believe, and he copies what G-Baby said. He's like, I believe he said that is some punk ass bullshit. I love that scene. I love that scene so much, and they don't know what to say. I mean, you're dealing with kids here, so they're all smart asses, and they all have a different personality, and they all fight with each other. And that's just funny to see Keanu Reeves in a situation like this. Makes for a good comedy too. There are comedy aspects about it. It's mostly drama, but for what it does in comedy, it works. Feel bad for a lot of the kids. The kid that runs away with the gang. I think there was one point in Diane Lane's class where she says something about fathers and how fathers should always be there. And from what I remember, it was like, quote, believing in fathers is stupid. My father's not coming back. My father's never coming back, and it's never going to be the same. It was something along those lines in the movie that he said. I don't remember word for word exactly, but it was like that. It was like he does not believe that his father will be back. And what is the most important thing in a young man's life? Their father. To teach them wrong from right. To teach them what is wrong and what is right and what's supposed to be... Well, there are bad dads too, but there are also really good dads. But like, it's like they're saying some of these boys would have been better with a father figure in their life, a better role model who's a male, and of course we hand the trophy to Connor, played by Keanu Reeves, who does it very well. He's a great coach, you know, for someone who's never coached before. I mean, he doesn't do a bad job. I mean, and you definitely feel for the character who says that in the classroom. My father's never coming back. It's stupid to believe in that. You feel for him. You really feel for the characters who are brought up on a rough side of town, and things aren't going easy, and Diane Lane can see that. You can see it in her face, that she feels a sort of sadness for the boys. You know, Keanu Reeves does all these good things for them, like take him out for pizza. He's short on money, so he has these hockey tickets, and he offers them to the pizza people, the pizza cooks, and the pizza clerk. He offers them the hockey tickets, and they take it. They accept, and he gets them a big pizza, and they all have a nice big pizza feast together. So there's little moments like that that make it memorable and make it stand out a little bit. I mean, it's obviously there's a lot of other movies that did it. You know, what was that movie with Dennis Quaid, The Rookie? I mean, that did it, where he was teaching baseball kids. And Gridiron Gang did it with Dwayne Johnson. It did it, kind of. But even though there's other films that did it, they all were different in their own way. For me, this was very different in a way where Keanu Reeves was stuck in a situation he didn't know how to deal with. He had to deal with project kids who were brought up in tough environments, and they had to adapt to it, and he had to adapt to them. And that made it even more memorable to me because, you know, I don't find the movie preachy, like it's trying to teach me a lesson. It's more like they become family as I'm watching. I'm with them on this journey. They become family. I'm with Keanu Reeves along the journey and his addictions. I feel bad for him. I'm with the kids on their, like, when they're suffering and they're dealing with this pain, and they want to do good. They just need somebody to guide them. And Hardball did a good job at showing Keanu kids who are in desperate need of a fatherly figure. Maybe some of them had fathers. I'm not sure, but they didn't really go too much in detail about. It was mostly angry moms. It was like angry moms showing up, and yeah, a really good movie. Really good movie. Never really got the recognition it deserves. Never really got the credit it deserves. And still, other films got higher than this. What was it? A 6.4? What was it? Sorry, I'm on the cast now, because I was looking up the cast. 6.4. It could be higher. It could. 41% on Rotten Tomatoes. That's pathetic. That's fucking pathetic, dude. I've seen Marvel films have higher than that. I've seen Marvel films have higher than that. I don't like that. I don't have a problem with Marvel, okay? I don't. It's just, this is such a good movie. Marvel went downhill a while ago, by the way, which we'll get into that another time for another topic, but I really like Hardball. Really do. I think Keanu Reeves does a good job. John Hawkes does a good job. Diane Lane. You know, John Hawkes is kind of that druggy character. Tiggy. Is it Tiggy? Tiggy. He's kind of a squirrely guy who he's always getting him in trouble. Yeah, it's one of those movies that you'll watch and you'll never forget. I feel like, kind of like with American History X, or even We Are Marshall. It's kind of like those. Gridiron Gang. Again, Gridiron Gang went into detail a lot with kids on the projects and talked a little bit about them, and showed what happens in those scenarios, and you could sort of relate with the characters because they're in danger or they're having a tough time, and you feel bad for them, and you're sad for them, and you want them to do better in life, and you want them to sprout with knowledge and integrity and inspiration, and they need a role model. It's as simple as that. You can call it typical all you want. Okay, maybe it is typical, but it's still a fun watch, a good watch. There's little jokes in there along the way. Favorite part is when the kids are talking back to each other, and they're like, "That's some punk ass bullshit. You're a bitch ass." And then Keanu Reeves is like, "Can we cool it with the bitches, please?" Just the way he says it is funny. Like, "Can we cool it with the bitches, guys, please?" I laugh. I do laugh a lot at it. I think I laugh more at that sport comedy, that sport drama, than I do the other ones. I mean, it's a perfect mix of comedy and drama. You got your emotion, you have your comedy, and you have your drama in there, which I guess you can mix that with emotion too. It does a good job. All of it. Well, this review was a lot longer than it had to be, but yeah, no, I would give it higher than 6.4. I would. 6.1? Yeah, higher than that. 6.4 out of 10, yeah. I don't know what it is. It's just like one of those films that always stuck with me. It's one of my favorites. 6.4 is quite low for this movie. I don't even think it's fair. I think it should be higher. I think at least an 8. And 41% on Rotten Tomatoes. I've seen slasher films that were not worth a shit get higher than that. I've seen worse movies get higher than that, seriously. So it deserves higher. It does. It's incredibly emotional, heartfelt, inspirational. It's less after school special and more I'm with them on this journey and they become family to me. And I find that endearing. I find that captivating. I find that I'm stuck with these characters. I care about their situations. And that's what matters in a movie, is do I care about their fucking situation? I do. I care about it a lot. Gee, baby, he did not deserve to die. One of the saddest parts of the movies. Saddest part of the movie. So yeah, I'm sorry if there were a lot of spoilers, by the way, which I'll have to put in the description. Definitely some spoilers. But yeah, maybe let me know what you think down below of Hardball. I like it. It's not action. It's one of his best movies that are not action. Bill and Ted, yeah, it's fine. It's comedic. That's an old one. I don't think that's his best one, though. Thank you for watching. Let me know what you think down below.